Good evening and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jenny Bernard, your host. As always, you can catch me right here each and every day, Monday through Friday, from 5 to 6 p.m. or whenever I am available. You know what we do here. We talk business, legal, social. We talk finance as well as your health. We're going to put it all back on the table because we care about you here at Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. The information that we talk about, the things that affect you and your community, from politics. Hey, we do that because it's important. Because politics is everything, and everything is politics. Good evening and welcome in. Welcome in one and all, and we appreciate you subscribing to this program as well as our YouTube and the Spotify, as well as our website. Our website is memphisrealtalk.com. Memphis Real Talk, that's one word, .com. It'll take you right to the website. And you can see the things that we are doing there and we are building there. And we're going to hook it up where it will be live with the website as well as on the other channel that we are dealing with. I want to wish you safety. I hope everything is well with you because listen, I had to step outside and go to uh, the gate. And when I got to the gate, all the snow was like concrete. It was like I was walking on concrete, but I was actually walking on the snow. You know how you have your boots on and every now and then you step and you want to see your footprints in the back of you? Well, there was no footprints. All I had was just a sheet of snowy ice. And ladies and gentlemen, when they say to you to stay in, please do that. Abide by. There's nothing out there that's more important than your life. And you can slip and slide off in a ditch, and nobody will know you in that ditch uh, for a long time. And you could be in serious trouble. As I recall, right over here, not far from where I live, uh, on Mendenhall, South Mendenhall, and Range. I remember a few years ago, may have been more than a few years, a young lady who worked at FedEx had gotten off like 2, 3 in the morning. And some of you all may remember this. She was coming down the range over there where the old brewery used to be. Coming down there, and there is a bridge right there at range before you get to Mendenhall. And she slid into that ice. Well, got up that morning, nobody knew where she was, and they was trying to figure out what happened to her because they knew the way that she came home when she left work. And as they went to trail her, as the story went, they found her car upside down in that ditch where there was water. And evidently on her way home, she must have hit a patch of ice, slid into the ditch, and the car turned over. And she laid there from the time she got off to the time they found her, and needless to say, you know what happened. And I told you that story, and some of you may remember. If you remember the story, hey, just go and say, I remember that, Bernard. Make the comments. If you would like to call, the phone line is always open to you. If you agree or disagree with something I say, hey, we can debate anything. We can disagree without being disagreeable. And that brings me to another point. I have informed you and I have informed all of my listeners. And some of these people who just make comments don't understand how this program goes. As long as we can disagree without being disagreeable, without getting to the point that we go to saying not nice things or personal attacks, then the gloves come off on this program. And I had to prove to a young lady just this weekend, she pulled the gloves off and started talking negative toward me because I was bringing the truth about Dr. Roderick Richmond. I said Roger in my comments as opposed to Roger. And she had something to say because I know by her comments she was a supporter of this slack that we have as interim superintendent. The comment came up as it relates to the possibility of this school board now, which to me is not worth what the little bird left on the limb, is thinking about giving him a permanent contract. Well, my opinion, and I still say, and you have the right to call me as well, 901-288-5779. Again, 901-288-5779. Feel free to call me. But my comment was, I thought that he was not qualified. I thought Dr. Roger Richmond is a backstabber, and he actually backstabbed the superintendent, Dr. Marie Fagan, in the back. Now, I told this, and I tell you again, no one could convince me that Dr. Roger Richmond didn't know that they was about to make a move on Dr. Fagan that they did because he was prepared to step in and become the interim, knowing that they had met or have been informed that they was going to make him interim. They was going to move her. They had to vote to remove her, and he was prepared to take over. And that's what he did. You cannot tell me if you work for me when I'm your boss, and you know that there's going to be something in to replace me or to replace Dr. Fagan, and you're her underling, you're under her. I don't know how far down he was, but they reached and got him and put him in. You cannot tell me for the life of me that Dr. Roger Richmond did not know that that was going to happen. So when I said that, this young lady began to speak negative. Well, you can say I disagree with you. We can debate that issue. But when you go to talking crazy, guess what? And y'all understand this. You hear this. I grew up North Memphis. I understand. I've been Reverend Bernard. I've been Officer Bernard. I've been Marine Corps Bernard. And all of that are just titles. But I want you to understand I am who I am. And what is in me, I can press it to the earth. But Dr. Martin Luther King said, the truth pressed to the earth shall rise again. Well, in this case, if you go wrong, the truth will rise again. It will show who I am when you go across the road in the negative. And I showed who I am. And that has always been pressed to the earth until some food come with the foolishness. And then it comes out. And I'm not apologetic on anything I say or do because at the time I said it, at the time I do it, I meant it. And that's why I don't take apologies uh, well, because at the time you said it or the time you did it, you meant it. And some people will come back and say, hey, I apologize for that, so and so that I did. Well, okay, I hear you, but you're not apologizing because of what you said. You apologizing for the regrets that you said it. And then you'll say that, but I remember that. And I said all of that to say to you, let us talk about the issues in this community that concern this community. And I'm going to do that as long as the good Lord gives me the breath to do what I do and to be who I am, I'm going to do that. And if anybody knows me for any period of time, they know I will give you, if the shirt off my back, I will give you and have done it many times, the money that I had in my pocket to help the individual. But if you cross me, if you come at me the wrong way, you got a problem. And this young lady had a problem. I had to tell her, in my opinion, what she looked like. And I did. I said to her, she looked like she charged by the hour. And you go to my Facebook page, you can look at her and you can look and see that she looked like she charged by the hour. And then we went a little further to say that whatever she charged wasn't worth more than $2. And somebody came back and said, I don't think it's worth 50 cents. So be careful what you say because you don't know who you're saying it to. You may be saying it to a person that know more than you would ever know and know how to come back at you like you never had anybody to come back at you. So let's be respectful and let's do the right thing. And what is the right thing? The right thing is simply this: we are in chaos. We have no good politician. Everything is wrong in our community. From the preachers that preach from the pulpit, it's more about them than about us. It's about who got the biggest church, who got the largest congregation, who drive the biggest car, who preached better than the other. I don't care who you are. If you can read the scripture, you speak as though Paul spoke. You can read the scripture. You can speak as well as John spoke. The gospel is all about reading the Bible. And if you ever go to a Bible study in it, and they say we're studying the Bible, the preacher, the Bible leader is reading the word from the Bible, and the word is preaching. So we get caught up in all of these things as to who I am. I'm Bishop so and so, and I'm this, that, and the other. Titles mean nothing. What means something is the people that you're supposed to be serving, the people that you're supposed to be on the front line to make sure that their life is easy. And to all of the new politicians, I'm going to get that list. And I say to you, if you desire to run, desire to serve, not serving yourself, but serving the people. And to all of these individuals that have been in there for all of these years and your community has not changed one iota, then you know that you have people who have been playing with you all of these years. I say to you that we will continue to talk. We will continue to tell you the things that are going on in this city. And this is your chance. This may be your last chance to make sure you secure a future for your children, and your grand. We are in a mess. And I'm going to tell you something that I said. We're going to prove step by step that black leadership are using the same formula that white racists used to use toward black people in the Jim Crow era. I think right now we have a great lawsuit against the city of Memphis, against Paul Young, against the city council. We as citizens, we sit back and allow politicians to do things that they do not have the authority to do. They do not have the authority to go in to our hotel, city council. They may do it. And we challenge that situation, that look at it. If this is not Jim Crow and this is not using power against the people, then got another thought coming. I'm telling you, all of that structure on my Facebook page. You may have to pan down again. I'll repost it again where it spells out the agreement and the deal that was made by all the administration, along with the city council who approved it. Conflict of interest of city council people, Chase Carlisle and his brother, uh, that's on the council. We should be able to turn things around in this city that our politicians are doing and doing without our permission. Some will say, well, you got the legislative branch, you got the executive branch, they have the power to make deals. Make deals, I would agree, if it benefits the people who they serve. Now, y'all tell me just this point, and I will be making different points in regard to what I think, how our black leaders have taken the Jim Crow era and turned it around and using it on your own people. Now let's look at this. Here we have someone who would agree, still say this in my opinion, that Paul Young was given $1.5 million to get into that. He bought you all and y'all put him in that office to do certain things that he's doing. Now Paul Young did just wake up one morning and say, I want to buy a hotel. And he never said that in any speech that he ever made prior to becoming the mayor. People giving him the money to run this city. And that's what he's doing. He's taking your tax dollars, going to buy the hotel because it was the agenda of someone else who supplied him with funds to run and got to call out with one of the brothers that's on his channel. Say he recused himself. He may not have been there to take a vote, but his presence was still there as the chairman of the budget committee. So he is now with his brother who sits on the Carlisle group. His recommendation, all Young and the administration and the city council go along with it. They secured it. The hotel Carlisle group is going to put up $250 million to get the hotel in order, according to the contract. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying what the contract said. Is that eventually it will be turned over to the Carlisle group. Now that don't make sense to me, and to me, that is the power of the Jim Crow in this day and time being used against the people who pay the taxes. How dare Paul Young, how dare the city council approve this type of mess, and you, the taxpayers, are receiving nothing from it. You will not own it in the long run. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a step of Jim Crowism, where you couldn't do anything. They block you to do anything, any knowledge during the Jim Crow era. Now, in this day and time, they're using the same mentality. And you don't have to vote on it. You don't put no referendum. You don't put nothing out there for the people to say, hey, guess what? We're thinking about securing the Sheraton Hotel. What do y'all think? That should have been out there and had the people to do. Once you got the people voice to say, yes, go ahead on and do it. But then for you to do it without informing the people, You know better than Jim Crowism. And that's what I say. Not only that, there's other things that are happening right in the front of our faces, and we are not doing anything or saying anything about it. I'm looking at some things. It may be possible that the community can sue the city of Memphis and Paul Young and the city council. Everybody say you can sue a ham sandwich as they use on the legal circle. But this ham sandwich is a hotel that these people put into place without even considering you. And no matter what they say, at the end of the day, your tax dollars, my tax dollars, our tax dollars came into play with the purchase of this hotel. And we are not going to benefit from it in any way. Think about it. A whole hotel was bought by you, the taxpayers of the city of Memphis. It's going to be turned over to the Carlisle Group for them to run it. It may take 2 years to get it up and running, put it in place. But then after a few years, it will belong to the Carlisle Group. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right in your face, and you're doing nothing about it. The first place in this year, we need to wipe the slate clean. I don't care if we have to, most, but not all. Some are trying to do, some are weak and not able to stand strong and tall when these issues come up. And we need strong people, qualified people, not because your last name is Porter, or not because your last name is Ford or nothing. That makes no sense, no difference. Are you qualified? Are you qualified to do that? Because everybody jumping in. Now you're getting $40,000 a year to come down twice a month, hold meetings. Not only that, you get other amenities that go along with the job. And people are saying, wait a minute, we sit up here and these people are getting this, paid this much money for doing nothing, just saying yeah or nay, and some of them are being persuaded to say yeah or nay. We know that goes on in this community, but we have the opportunity and to change this. And if we can send some of them home packing, the others would know that the city and the people in the city will no longer tolerate this foolishness. And I'm that. I'm one of those who are definitely tired of being sick and tired of this mess that's going on in the city of Memphis. They lie to you, and you accept the lie. We have to stop accepting these lies that are being told to us, and we just accept it. You got to be man enough to stand up and see these foolish fools who sit here that want to be in the in crowd, just to want to take pictures with this so-called celebrity or this person who holds the title and think they're important. Titles mean nothing. It's about the person. And when we get people so far out there that don't even respect the position that they're in, then we got a problem. Now, if you go to my Facebook page down on the timeline, you'll see where someone sent me a post that was made by Tawana Murphy. And it showed that she said on the thing that, a post rather, that this is a joke. But she had said if she had a funeral home, these are the things that she would do and say and how she would advertise the funeral home. Go ahead, go to my Facebook page and look at it and tell me what do you think. To me, it says to me that Tawana Murphy is not worthy to be on anybody, not even worthy to be a Girl Scout. And back in the day, it's not wasn't very hard to become a Girl Scout. But here she is, the Girl Scout wouldn't want her, in my opinion. But we sit here and put people in position to have no respect for themselves. See, first of all, if you don't respect yourself as a woman or as a human being, how then do you respect the people who have put you in the position of leadership? And we got to step up to the plate. We got to come together and make a difference. These so-called wannabe individuals going to fight against you. We're over 600,000 people strong in this community, but Paul Young only won by 24,000. Look how many people didn't think about voting in that city election. But we want to wake up those who've been sleeping through elections after elections and have not voted and have not tried to do things that would turn their life around. We want to wake up that. We want to wake them up like they came out when Obama ran the first and the second time, President Obama. When he ran, lines was around the corner, not just one day, but 2, 3, 4 week. People were waking up and going to vote. The family members woke up their members and said, "Get your butt up, and you got to go vote because we're going to elect the first black president of these United States." And then throughout the black community, I was passing by different voting booths and saw all the lines. You need to motivate yourself again to turn this city back over to the people, not to the politicians, and have these politicians to respect you and who you are. Until we do that, we're going to continue to be in the position that we are in. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm going to continue to take time out of my schedule to come here every day when I'm available to talk to you and tell you what's going on and what you should be aware of. I say to you, the same idea of Jim Crow in the 50s, the 60s, that used against us as African American people, the same Jim Crow mentality. There's a difference between actual and mentality. The mentality of Jim Crow still exists, but guess who it exists with? Jim Crow is now our black politicians that are using the Jim Crow mentality to hoodwink you, to bamboozle you, to run amok over you, and you haven't woke up and realized that our own black leaders that look like you and I are using the mentality of Jim Crow against us. We can control this narrative and stop letting other people that wouldn't give you 2 dimes or 2 pennies to come into your community and convince you that they are better than the people who live in your community and they live outside of your community. Preachers need to stop allowing these folks to come in to your safe haven, your churches, and convince you to convince your constituents or your parishioners, excuse me, to go and do their bidding for them. And this has happened. The leadership used to come from the church in our community, but our leadership in the community can be bought and paid for. I was looking at a movie this weekend. You know, we all snowed in, and I love to look at movies, but I was looking at a movie and I came across it. It was about uh, an individual, uh, an attorney that was a powerful and still is. He's the one that had the airplane that says the wings of justice. And I was looking, and it was based on a true story. How he went in and He did a lawsuit that changed the situation down in Jackson, Mississippi. You need to look at that movie. If you look at that movie, it will bring something to you that's similar to what's going on in the city of Memphis with the Carlisle Group and the city of Memphis. I'm gonna post that movie uh, on my Facebook page. If you go on Tubi and look at it, it made me think about what could possibly happen in this community if the legal minds of this community really came together and we could do what Gary, the attorney, done to change things around. See, everything civil movement was bigger than money. And everybody that's doing any and everything that's successful now, do what you do. Gave you that and gentlemen, you're sitting on your future. Get up off of your future and do something. Just to say, get up off of your do nothing and start doing something to make your future brighter, make your future better. And we need to start right here in Memphis. And I want to galvanize the people and let us know and let them know that you look at us and say, what kind of people are those individuals who put in leadership that's ignorant, that do stupid things? It's a reflection on you. My mother and father used to always say before I left the house, boy, yes, you are a reflection on this family. You are a reflection. You said, you represent. So the people you put in office should not them. They're talking about you because you put them in office. And then they say, do they know anyone else besides these fools that's already been bought and paid for? We got them. Is there nobody else better in the community than these fools that have been here 20 and 30 years? What did that say about you when you send somebody year after year, election after election, that and you get stuck stupid? And I have to say it, it's the truth. We are stuck on stupid when it comes to politics. We can get a individual who stole money from the Democratic Party, turn around and get a clerk to put it in the position of the executive coordinator for General Sessions Court. You got a thief now. He would have been a convicted if they wouldn't uh, able to persuade the Democratic Party not to press charges. It's obvious. And he took out see that. amnesia as it relates to certain people. And they bring it up, they go wash it off, dust him off, and bring him back as a new person. You still the crook. You still the liar. You still the thief, Brian Cox. But they dust you off and brought you back and think you something special. You still the thief that took the $26,000 from the Democratic Party. And I'm going to continue to remind you of that. I'm continue to talk to you about because it's time to change. It's time to stop the Jim Crow mentality from taking over our community and our way of life in this community. In this case, you have black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all are being affected by the leadership that's in the black community. At this point, we are the one that's in the leadership role. I don't care if you're black, white, or any other race. If you do nothing to protect and serve and help the people, I don't care if you're black. I don't care whatever. I'm going to bring it to the forefront and leadership that we have. Somebody saw me and said, "Man, I listened to your program. I'm all for you when you talk about should elected officials be drug tested." I said, "Well, thank you, Doc. I just wish the majority of the people understand that all elected officials, in my opinion, need to be drug tested. And I would bet you and give you a wager that most, but not all, a great majority of those individuals that will be drug tested will fail the drug test. When you want to get you to grow marijuana to 15 plants in your own backyard, and he's thinking that these knuckleheads out here, if they were given that, would only grow 15 plants? No. Now you telling me you want to pass that and you don't use it? You ain't smoking it? Give them all drug tests and see what happens. There's some gonna pass, but the majority, in my opinion, a lot of them won't pass it because they call it recreational use, but it's illegal to use it. But they still use it. But they say we'll never get prostitutes will be told, and you would know what you have in office. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. Think about your future. Think about who is pressing the truth to the earth. But we want it to rise again so you can realize that you're more powerful than any politician's money or in power to be money because we can stop them from making the money by voting. When they can't buy us, then they can't make money off the way they're making money leadership contribution. See, if you never accept any money from these powers that be, then they don't own you. But when you accept their money, they own you. And you got to pay them for the money they have donated to you. And that's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Out here that's running right now, raising two, 300, 500. Vote need to understand that. And I'm going to pull the information and we're going to talk about it like we used to talk about it. When we used to bring the information out and let you know who is being bought and paid for politically in your community. We're going to have to do this because the Jim Crow mentality is being played on us by our so-called leaders. They're sitting there like they're important. Let's take let us move forward with this issue. James Bernard, you've been listening to Tell the Truth. The devil, as always, we do appreciate you tuning in and being a part of this program. You say you stay in the house because I can't even move the cars out of the driveway because they are snowed in. I'm not going to attempt to do it. Ice will probably be around for a few more days or maybe a few more weeks before it thaw out. The snow is like an ice ring in my front yard. You have some ice skates, you can probably skate on the ice. That's how thick and hard the snow has become. You know how you used to walk and see your footsteps? It's nothing but a sheet of ice in my front yard. I don't know what it is in yours. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to do better. Let us do better. And remember, Jim Crow mentality is being used on you by your elected official. In the words of my grandmother, she always said, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we'll see you on tomorrow. Stay home. If you ain't got to go, stay home. Because it's dangerous out there. We don't want you to fall. No one notice you or see you. You lay out and help will not be on your way. But remember what I said also. Remember I said, trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside of you. Take care. God bless you. We'll see you later. Have a good evening and be safe.